Alright, hey guys, welcome to the third and final edition of my Battle Tips series. So far, we've covered the basics to help you get started off on the right foot, and also some advanced stuff to help you when you're outnumbered or just at a disadvantage. And this time, we're going to be going over strategies and why team composition matters for the different game modes. So, cue the dramatic transition! So in the Dominion game mode, you battle to gain and keep control of 3 different zones, and when you capture a zone, you get 100 points, but those are what are called soft points, and you'll lose those if the zone is captured by the enemy. And to earn hard points that can't be lost, you need to keep control of the zone. And you can also double the hard points it's generating by standing in the zones you control. So with that in mind, it's important to remember that Dominion isn't about killing everyone. You need to control the battlefield, and having the right team composition makes a huge difference with that. So let's go over the heroes. Heavy heroes, like the Shigoki for the Samurai, are good for conquering the front line in Zone B and also defending captured zones. Assassins, like the Orochi, are the most efficient characters to kill enemy heroes in 1v1 situations, but they're fragile when they're outnumbered. And Vanguards, like the Kensei, are great heroes for Dominion because they're very well rounded and they can capture and defend zones, as well as kill enemy heroes and soldiers. So, while there isn't one perfect formula to make the best Dominion team, having one of each of those heroes is a good way to build a balanced team that has heroes with strengths in all the key elements of the game. That way, you can have a Vanguard taking out soldiers in the front line, and an Assassin capturing zones and going after enemy players, and then have the Heavy defending the zones and giving support in group fights. And there's some more strategies that you can implement with those heroes, so let's go over those right now. Feats are special abilities that you can unlock by gaining Renown, and having the right feats can drastically impact the outcome of a match. So you gain Renown, which you can see in the bottom left, by performing actions during the match. Each hero has their own actions that gain them the most Renown points. Like for instance, the Vanguards get the most by capturing a zone, killing soldiers, and reviving teammates. For Assassins, it's killing enemy heroes, contesting zones, and getting kill streaks. And for Heavies, it's assisting in kills, defending zones, and boosting zones. And one thing to keep in mind is that some feats are shared across heroes of the same faction or of the same type, and if you have 2 similar heroes on the same team, you might want to equip different feats so you can take advantage of different opportunities in the game. And another thing to keep in mind is that you can get hurt by your own feats, so don't do what I did here. So, having different heroes and feats are a great way to help you have an advantage, but communication and tactics have a huge impact on deciding the winners of a game as well. And here are some important ones to focus on. Don't play as a lone wolf. So, even if you put my awesome tips from the other videos to use, there's still a lot of chance you could get outnumbered and easily get destroyed. So, use your radar and try to see what to expect, and if you keep getting outnumbered, try going along with another teammate so you're not alone. Another is to control zones early in a match, and like I said earlier, you earn double the hard points when you're standing in zones you control, and also you can regen your health when standing in zones A or C when you control them, so it's super important to get control of those as early as possible. Reviving allies and asking to be revived. So whenever possible, revive your teammates, because it brings them back into the game without having to wait to respawn, and it also brings in a lot of Renown. And if you get killed, you can ask for a revive in the quick chat just by tapping LB. And lastly, don't freak out in breaking. So if the enemy reaches 1,000 points, your team will start breaking, which means that you can't respawn, and if your whole team dies, you lose. And it's pretty easy to freak out when you start breaking, but if the enemy team goes back down below 1,000 points, everything goes back to normal, so you just need to focus your efforts on grouping up with your team and get a zone back so the enemy loses those 100 soft points we talked about earlier. And it's also important to remember that you can revive your fallen teammates as long as they haven't been executed. Alright, so those are some good things to remember for Dominion, but there are some other game modes that we can cover too. Elimination is a lot of fun because you only get 1 life per round, and the pace and tension is a lot different than Dominion. And a lot of the tips I covered in Dominion still apply to Elimination, but there are a couple others we can go over. The biggest one is to execute your enemies. So just like what I was talking about when a team is breaking in Dominion, players that have been executed cannot be revived in Elimination, so go for an execution whenever you can, and if you or a teammate is killed but not executed, go for the revive. communicate and coordinate. Be sure to talk with your team and come up with efficient tactics to work around whatever problem you're having. And don't be afraid to run away and regroup when you need to. There's no shame in that. And lastly, use boosts. So in Elimination, you can find boosts in different places on the map, things that help like your health or your shield or your attack, and you can use these to gain an advantage on your opponent. So there is a big difference in Brawl when it comes to team composition. You can't have two of the same heroes on the same team, so you have to figure out what's going to work best with you and your partner and come up with tactics before the game. And once the game is started, adapt those tactics if you need to. And once again, the only way you can come back after you die in a round is to be revived, so help your teammate out and try to execute your enemies. And lastly, be sure to use your environment to your advantage. Use ledges, fire, spikes, anything that you can to damage or take out your opponents. Alright, that is all the knowledge that I have to give to you, so if you've watched all of my battle tips videos, there's a good chance that you're better than me at this game, so you're welcome. But seriously, I'm really excited for this game, and I hope you guys are too, so good luck out there.
Alright, Moo, is that you?
Alright, yeah, you ready?
Meet
You
me
ready?
on this bridge. Yo, this
Okay.
walk slow.
Guess what?
The double hit. Oh, no! What am I gonna do? This is bullshit.